Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. It's your t-shirted historian. Been an interesting week. We added the Eclectic Goat on our Tuesday morning show, and I hope that she will come back every Tuesday. That would be great. And it was also our first time to dual stream to X and to YouTube. And the main thing I noticed that day was the viewer count just shot up to 43, which is pretty amazing for me. I've never had that many people on, even when I've had, big guests on like Sandy Peterson and Mark Reinhagen. So either it's the effect of dual broadcasting to X and it's the X traffic picking it up, or some of y'all really wanted to hear what Eclectic Goat had to say. And, I'm not silly enough to think that, female YouTubers, female broadcasters don't tend to pick up a larger audience. I know better. I mean, I saw our numbers jump when we had Harmony Ginger on by far, and her channel has blown up way far past mine. And that's good. I mean, I'm not throwing any shade on her. She was, I knew she was going to be kind of a breakout success when she came onto my channel for the very first time. And I'm glad she's being so successful. I really am. I do wish she'd come hang out with us a little bit more often, but I guess that's just kind of how celebrity is. You get busy and you don't have time for everybody anymore. But that's okay. I mean, I know she'll pop in when she has time. Oh, man. Interesting things to rant about this week. I'm probably being an old fart. But see, I remember back around, the 2000s mark, a little after the 2000s, when I worked over at the gaming store, our meal frequently was running over to Taco Bell because it was across the parking lot from where we were. And $5 could get us a decent number of items. And we could make a meal on that pretty easily. I mean, if we went in there and spent $20, that was enough food for all three of us to eat twice on sometimes. Then a couple of years ago, I want to say about 2019, 2018 or so, I noticed that, getting meals, fast food kind of stuff, started shooting up to like $10. Actually, first it was $7, then it was $8, then it was $10. Nowadays, it's like $15. And that's like if you just, go through the drive-in and you get like, one item, a side, and a drink. Not necessarily a large or anything special like that, but I mean, it's just straight up $15. And I'm just like, what happened to the food prices, man? It's like they don't give you more now than they did back in 2000. The Taco Bell taco is the same size now as it was back then. Is it because they're having to pay the employees more? I mean, that's possible. But then I'm always hearing about, employees still making, Byzantine wages. So I don't know, man. All I know is my paychecks haven't gone up enough to meet the demand of being able to afford fast food. And I'm not mocking the fast food industry. I'm not knocking the fast food industry. I'm not knocking anybody who works in the fast food industry. But there was a time in this country, a long, long time ago, of course, before I was born, that a man could work at one of these places and successfully feed his family and take care of them. I wonder if that's still the case now, even with the increased pay wages. I know the price of the food certainly hasn't gotten any cheaper. So my real question is, where is all this money going? What is my dollar actually worth? And if my dollar's worth is not as worth as much now as it used to be, then shouldn't I be getting more of them? Or shouldn't something be happening to kind of balance out the economy a little bit? Because, at this rate, if I have to survive on what I make, I'm not gonna. And maybe that's why I don't get too many tips. I don't like to beg for tips, of course. I mean, that's just, I like to be worth your money if you feel like you wish to tip me. So I don't want to beg for it. But if you think the show is good and you want a tip, I encourage you strongly. It helps me in so many ways you won't believe it. I do get a little shred of ad revenue from YouTube, but honestly, it's like close to like maybe $3 or $4 a month. And of course, they don't pay you $3 or $4 monthly. They wait until you have accrued $100 or more to pay you. So roughly what this means is between tips and what I get paid on YouTube advertising, I get paid about, about once every 6 months, once every 5 maybe. And it's only like a little over $100. So if I had to live on YouTube streaming, I either would need to step my game up a whole lot, maybe bring a whole bunch of extreme views and comments and maybe start feuds, and because those are the kind of clicks that seem to make all the money. But that's not what I really want to do. I don't want to build my audience on that. And I don't want you guys to have to deal with it. I want you guys to come hang out with us, have a chill stream where you can, kind of listen to us BS a little bit and talk about stuff and chime into the conversation and add your take and participate, That's all I really want from the audience. And if you feel like we're worth tipping, then by all means do so. Don't make me beg, because I don't want to do that. I may have to start, though. But I do try to make your tips worthwhile. I do try to give you guys a nice little video whenever you do tip, and I always flash your comments up on the screen. And I do try to make this as interactive as possible. If you say something out there in the chat, I will notice it, and I will post it up there if it's something I think is worth responding to. And if you chat it with a tip, I'm definitely going to post it. So I'm not saying everybody needs to empty their wallets in my direction or anything like that, but supposedly I have 1,000 viewers out there, at least 1,080. If every one of you guys sent me $1, I could do this show, well, pretty much as a job. Anyway, shall we start the show? Mr. Grimm.
Hello.
It's good to see you, bud.
How you doing? Good?
I'm doing good. We got Dash Attack, and Dash is going to be very well placed for today because today we're talking about games.
Yee.
Yep. Got Mr. Hunter.
I am still very much pissed off we no longer have $5 footlongs from Subway, so I feel you on the whole fast food thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened to that? Das Wolfen.
Hey.
Doing good?
Yeah. I remember when hash browns used to be 2 for $1 at McDonald's. Now they're like $4.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we used to, get double-decker tacos at Taco Bell, and they were like, I want to say they were like $2.50 a piece back then. So we could easily make a meal on them.
When were you buying these?
Gosh, this must have been. Let's see. I was still working at the game store. It was early 2000s, I want to say 1999, 2000, 2001. Probably all the way up until about 2006 or 2005.
Because I have a handy dandy inflation calculator here.
Do you?
So if it was just inflation, what you got for $5 should now cost you about $8.
Well, it
That sounds
doesn't.
about right.
So what does it cost you now?
Well, let's see. Like today, I bought 3 Doritos Locos Tacos. That when it came with a drink, and I think that's all it was, and it was like $14. And I'm just like, are you really?
Well, there's a lot more to it than just the simple, like gross inflation and the loss of value in the currency. I mean, that's actually my my wheelhouse is economics. It's where I did most of my formal education.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Like, for instance, your fast food is far more heavily impacted by wages and fuel prices than it is by inflation, because it's already, your fast food joints are already at scale. So they've got scale that can help them absorb a lot of inflation when it comes to materials and, their foodstuffs and that sort of thing. But when you got people pretending like standing at the touch screen and getting off their phone just long enough to mess up my order is worth $15 an hour, that's a major increase in the in their costs and their labor cost. And then if you got any of the transportation costs, whether it's oil, whether it's the fact that we have a shortage of truck drivers, so actual shipping itself is more expensive above and beyond fuel, whatever the case may be, those things all have they have a disparate impact on things like that. So all of that's going to factor in far more than simple inflation.
Well, hell, the other day I went through the Taco Bell drive-in, and it wasn't a live person taking my order. It was an AI.
Yeah. Well, they've started going to kiosks and stuff now where when you walk in, there is no cashier that takes your order. You punch it in on a touch screen and it files it back to the kitchen, and they eventually just bring it out. Because then they have to cut it somewhere. It's kind of funny because 3 times over the past 5 years, I have looked into a situation where I might have been involved in a restaurant, either tangentially or directly, and had this conversation numerous times. Restaurants are not food service businesses. Restaurants are loss mitigation businesses. It's not about how good your food is. Anybody can pack a dining room serving garbage on Friday, Saturday night. You need to have people that come in during the week to really make your money. But it's the food that rots because you ordered too much. It's the food that rots because your employees didn't take care of it. It's the food your employees stole. It's, basically money filters out of restaurants in every direction. Every time a bartender pours 2 ounces instead of 1.25 ounces, that adds up.
Yeah.
The fuel cost is certainly a thing, especially since America isn't really set up for mass transport by other means than the road. So it's very vulnerable to fuel fluctuations. If you work out the actual sort of extra cost per burger, say, increasing wages doesn't really have that much effect, as you can see where McDonald's is operating in other countries, and they pay their people a reasonable wage. Plus, paying a bit more wage is a way of doing a little bit of wealth redistribution without resorting to taxation, which tends to lift everything.
Best thing you could do is just eliminate minimum wage altogether, because it's just a false floor. It doesn't actually make anything have more value. By eliminating minimum wage, you functionally will create a deflationary effect that makes money more valuable, because all money is a store of labor and value from a previous transaction. Artificially inflating the number that is attached to that transaction does not do anything good for anybody.
It moves the value of work closer to the actual amount of productivity that someone's producing, because those have been wildly divergent since the end of the 70s. But
oh my gosh, guys, careful! We're in danger of actually starting a serious conversation about real world politics.
That's why I just voluntarily went shush.
We can't do that. We're a pop culture channel. We're going to lose our audience. Nobody's going to show up to hear us discuss economics and the horrible shit in the world. They want us to see. They want us to talk about gaming stuff.
It has been horribly relevant to gaming, though.
Yeah, price gouging. Everything's going up. But you're right. Food's more expensive. Games are more expensive. Everyone sees it.
$80 Nintendo games.
Yeah, and we already knew Nintendo was greedy.
Oh, not Nintendo.
Economics, the RPGs. Just lay off the Monopoly game and talk about stupid elf games. We are going to talk about stupid elf games. Actually, we're not going to talk about stupid elf games. Today, we're going to talk about stupid video games, because we are still a pop culture channel and we do a lot more than just TTRPG stuff. And a ton of trailers dropped this week.
A ton.
So I want to look over some of those. But also, before I go any further, I want to say one thing. Grim finally got Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon. Dash has been playing Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon. Yep. I have been playing Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon. So I want to know what you guys thought of it.
It's all right.
Well, based on... Oh, you can go.
Go.
Oh, yeah, well, based on my quick playthrough of it, yeah, it does have a lot of the Elder Scrolls jank to it, while, I don't know, the world seems very dark. I don't know, I found an interesting quest where I gave a woman some flowers, and it turns out I was actually insulting her by giving her those flowers.
You must be, what is it, Mauve or whatever her name is?
Yeah. She's in the first town.
Oh no, I was thinking of have you gone into the crypt and found the chick down there who's basically like a goddess and she steals things?
Oh, the girl with the horns? Yeah, I've met her.
Okay. Grim, come on now. You're the British guy. This has got to be in your wheelhouse.
A lot of it is, I guess, but yeah, I find all the overworld stuff really janky, and it doesn't have me feeling like I'm there. The draw distance seems too close, and there's been some interesting bugs with dead bodies propelling themselves into the stratosphere and things like that I've had.
I didn't know
an arrow.
See, it's already a Bethesda game.
Yes, without being a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
But in the more closed environments, the dungeons and stuff, I'm finding it plays a lot better in those environments. Yeah. I'm enjoying that more.
Well, what about the story?
I haven't really engaged with the story very much yet. I got to the first little outpost, and I've been doing little quests out from there so far.
Wait a minute, you brought King Arthur back to life, didn't you?
Temporarily.
Yeah, I mean that didn't just like strike a chord with you at all.
Nah, not really.
I'm like the only person
by all that Giga-esque stuff, which I found a little bit off-putting. But
gotta find the missing Horcruxes of King Arthur.
Well, yeah, but I mean, geez, man, it's like I was all choked up whenever I brought him back. I thought, oh, this is so cool, and then
yeah, but he's evil, clearly.
Is he?
Yeah, reckon, and he's been kept alive too long as well. And that goes back to the Arthurian idea of the land and the king being, Celtic idea of the land and the king being connected. So.
Well, I think the writing is opening is that like you have to decide what's right for Avalon. Do you bring back the king or do you let him rest like he was supposed to?
Or do you prance around the countryside picking flowers and decapitating bandits? That's kind of what I've been doing.
Archer Collins says we need King Arthur to come back now.
I do need a 4th century Welsh warlord. I don't think he'd be very useful today.
I don't know. He's got a magic sword. So.
Yeah.
There's a
didn't help him against the Angles or the Saxons.
No. So while I'm not
Harry Saxons. You what?
I was just to say I backed a. It's been almost 2 years now. It's still in the works. But I backed a TTRPG. It's called The Winter King. It's a dice pool system game. But the idea of the game is Mordred has defeated King Arthur, and the world and basically the lands have fallen into disarray under King Mordred's rule. And now you're like the remnants of the Round Table trying to fight back.
Wow, that sounds just awful.
It's kind of funny that it's called The Winter King because the first book in the very best Arthurian series out there is called The Winter King. And by the time you get to the 3rd book in that series, Arthur has given the throne of Dominaria over to Mordred because it's rightfully his, and everybody is busy trying to get Arthur to come back and fix his BS because all Mordred wants to do is run around and go on wars everywhere and play warrior and kill people and take money and, you know, not do stuff kings are supposed to do, like take care of people.
Okay, Hunter. We're not going to do that one. I'm sorry. That's not a game we're going to discuss. That's
fine. I don't blame you. I don't understand. I just saw that earlier. So
none of us are Africanized enough to be able to talk about that game. So clearly, it's not for us. And
you're talking about that game? The game everyone's talking about today.
Relooted, an African futurist heist game where you reclaim real African looted artifacts from Western museums. Yeah, I don't. That's not one I really want to talk about.
Yeah, it's easy.
I mean, all I can say is I hope the studio didn't spend a whole lot of money on it.
It doesn't look like they did. The models look terrible.
Yeah. Well, you know.
If I was doing a game like that, I'd have you go through all this trouble to recover these artifacts, bring them back to a museum, and then have Boko Haram burn the museum down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even...
As commentary.
Or if they don't go there, they could be, confiscated by whatever warlord happens to run that country that week, and then turn around and get sold right back to the Western museums so he can have a new pool.
Now, this really pisses me off to no end.
No, you have either Indiana Jones or animated Jackie Chan saying it belongs in a museum and beating them up.
T-shirt, all right. Take control. It's your channel.
Yes, it's my channel. All right, fine. To hell with this, then.
You're one of them special folks, ain't you?
So, anyway, let's get on with this cavalcade of awesomeness because we have a lot here to look at. Let me see. I think this is the right one. I hope it is this the porn one? No, it better not be.
Now, what's this now?
A porn one? I'm curious.
Yes.
Yeah.
The castle has been sighted again.
I'm super excited about this.
The church's orders are absolute. These human sacrifices must be stopped.
We will track the ethereal castle, break its gates, and exterminate the creatures that dwell within. The Demon Lord himself will fall by our hand.
This mission will test the limits of your courage.
You will face horrors beyond your darkest imaginings. Beasts that defy reason. Creatures born of pure darkness.
Ooh. I'd like to get with her darkness.
Thousand Blossom!
Yamane's soundtrack again.
With me! Cross Reaper!
Tonight, we start our mission!
Here I thought it was going to be Castlevania Ballsy.
It is Castlevania, basically. The guy behind it, is the same guy who worked on a lot of the Castlevania games. And because Konami will not push another Castlevania game through, he basically said, okay, F you. We're going to Kickstarter our own Castlevania games, but we're going to change everything up. We're going to make them like Castlevania. And in fact, he got the original Castlevania composer Michiru Yamane to do the soundtrack for the first Bloodstained. And so now he's doing another one, which this is your Castlevania itch getting scratched right here.
Is Konami just not like money?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, they just
the only series that everybody still likes.
Yeah, Metal Gear, Castlevania, all these things.
They're fine doing these remasters and outsourcing it to Adi Shankar to completely dilute the brand and bring like normies in.
But
making a new game, no, they can't.
They're more content to do pachinko and stuff, because I mean, look at all the good brands they have. Silent Hill, which they got a new Silent Hill game coming out, Silent Hill F.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
The last thing they need to make is another Metal Gear game. They need to stop making Metal Gear games about 6 games ago.
Exactly, Zahn.
Now they're like weird political short movies that wax poetic about evil conspiracy theories for 14 hours, and then every now and then you get a boss fight.
Yeah, well, that's Metal Gear.
There's nowhere near it. Well, Metal Gear was always great because this is the brilliance of the early Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid.
Well, they'll never get Metal Gear again now that they've parted ways with Kojima Studios. And honestly,
they essentially were like, we can make 500 rooms for this.
Well, I think this Metal Gear Solid remake for 3 is like their test to see if they can like continue without Kojima.
Well, I'm going to be serious for a minute. I think Kojima has kind of gone the same way as Masamune Shirao. He's kind of gone so far up his own ass that at this point we...
Oh, yeah.
If you this many to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Death Stranding was a terrible game. Did not finish. Not looking forward to this second one, which just looks like it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Backpack Simulator. I mean, I don't want to play that. Actually, let me tell you what. If I want to play Backpack Simulator, the game I'm going to play is the one that I'm currently playing the shit out of right now, and it's this. Let me find it. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. I'm putting so many hours on this thing right now because I'm loving the hell out of it, and it is hard as hell. That's because I'm soloing it. She's pretty much indestructible. If she grabs you, you're dead.
Just what I needed in my life. Another giant anime show.
Yeah, how did I miss this trailer?
I don't know. A lot of people don't know this game yet, but it's super fun. It's super hard, and it is squad-based. And this is the latest patch they dropped for it.
Is that scavenger one?
Yeah. So let me explain. Yeah. There is a ongoing war between 3 different factions. 4, actually, if you count the scavengers. The war's been going on so long, nobody knows why. Nobody knows what it's about. It's just that every day they go out on the battlefields and fight, and every night these big Mother Courage machines run around and scavenge all the corpses and everything else to reuse all the biological and cybernetic material and create new clones and things. And you fight across all these ravaged landscapes day after day and night after night. And your job is you're a scavenger. You're not actually part of either one of those armies. You might work for them, you might take jobs from them, but your job is to scavenge the battlefield and make sure your little enclave stays alive.
Yep.
And
Interesting.
It is super fun. It is super hard.
It looks cool, and this is so perfect for me for you to bring this up, because you know what that kind of sounds like to me.
What's that?
MD Geist, the video game. The Death Force is out to get our organic and mechanical features, and we're scavengers that have to survive.
Daniel, 3 degrees of MD Geist.
That's right.
What was that game called again?
The Forever Winter.
That looks cool.
And it's not that. Ironcaster kept trying to get me to play Helldivers 2, and I'm like, dude, the appreciation for that game is already falling off. But
It's kind of maybe a little comeback.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because I heard they nerfed all the weapons down to like nothing, and now nobody plays it.
Well, they've had a couple of updates and events, so I think some people are coming back.
I think I prefer the Forever Winter. It's much more grim and gritty. It's lots of fun, and one of the best parts of it is since you're a scavenger, pretty much everybody out there is your enemy. So your whole thing is you got to stay low in the battlefield and not get caught, not get seen. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with opponents, which could also reduce your standing with them. But one of the cool things that there's an event that can happen during the game, which is apparently there is a scavenger out there who grabbed what they call a medium mech, which is medium is kind of a joke because these things are massive. I mean, like they're at least, I don't know, they're like a building walking around, and he has this great big giant, like red demon face painted on it and everything. And he's called the Rat King. The Rat King doesn't aggro on you, but he aggroes everything else in the battlefield, and everywhere he stomps around, he's just constantly killing off everything. And when the Rat King is there, you basically can get to scavenge up all of his kills and loot all the corpses that he leaves behind. So the in-game kind of thing is you can build a shrine to the Rat King and pray for him to show up on the battlefield, and the sayings are things like the Rat King, may the Rat King bless us and stuff. I love it. It's got a super deep lore. It's got beautiful art. The only problem I have with it right now is it's still in early access, so they're still working on it. There is a lot of performance issues with some of the battlefields. Some of them are worse than others. But if you got a decent rig and you want to have a lot of fun with a game, and you can squad base this thing, I would absolutely play the dog out of Forever Winter. You'll like it. And the solo experience is actually, in my opinion, one of the most fun ways to play it. Just because it's just you against everybody else. but I love it. Oh yeah, Forever Winter and Helldivers. Interesting, these two games, because you always re-comment that people who read Starship Troopers should also read the Forever War. Yeah, Joe Haldeman. I remember that. But yeah, definitely one to pick up if you haven't. And it's not as expensive as Helldivers, I might add. But
how hard is hard when it comes to this game?
You will die a lot, and you will get frustrated a lot early on because you're learning the ropes. You're learning how not to get seen, and you start out with weapons that are garbage. But the first time you actually manage to loot a battlefield and extract off of it successfully, you'll throw your hands up in joy, and you will want that feeling over and over and over again. For me, what really got me more and more pumped about it was the fact that after I got a halfway decent rifle, I was able to stay in the battlefield longer, scavenge better stuff, and there's more things to interact with. There's like radar things you can shut down, there's bunkers you can open, there's generators you can power, and all the things that you can do in each battlefield affect how that battlefield works and how some of the other ones work. And there are so many different battlefields. There's daytime and nighttime variants that are just radically different from each other. But it is a tough game. I'm not going to kid you. So you can't go into this thinking that, like you're invincible and all that stuff. I mean, it's like they constantly remind you, you're not that guy. You're this guy. Which is, you're the weak. You're the guy who's scavenging off the dead. But it's a good one. I honestly recommend it big time. It's my favorite game right now. I don't even remember how many hours I've got put on it, but let's see some other stuff because we got lots. Okay. This is one you popped up for me, which I actually found on my own, because it's the same studio is doing 3 different games. They're doing Atomic Heart, they're doing The Cube, and then they're doing Ill, which I had Ill on this channel several years ago, and it still hadn't come out. Now finally they've got someone to do it, which is Mundfish Games, same guys who made Atomic Heart. They just dropped this new trailer. Sorry if I'm stuttering a lot here. It's just that video can't keep up with everything. Oh, Jesus. I think Grim wants to play this one too.
Yeah.
Kick the baby!
Kick the baby. I noticed that too, Archer. I think those are actually Russian helicopters.
Yeah, I think it's based on the work of a Russian artist. I can't remember his name offhand, but it all seems based on his work.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's crazy, man. I want to play that. Oh, speaking of, there is a game that you can buy right now. Just came out, and it is a lot of fun. It's still in early access. I just started playing it. It's very addictive. It is called Graveyard Simulator. Or actually, it's Zombie Graveyard Simulator.
There it is.
Yeah, Zombie Graveyard Simulator. Yeah, it's super fun because it's basically you bought a farm and you want to clean it all up and make a graveyard out of it and start making a business out of it. But at night, zombies come to attack your graveyard because apparently in this version of the world, the dead who are not buried properly or cremated properly come back to life as zombies. So, but
also, zombies are coming to the graveyard. It's not you trying to keep them in the graveyard.
Well, basically, they're trying to get into the graveyard to eat the dead. So, but it works. It's a pretty fun little game. I'm enjoying it. It's simple.
Yeah, I figured it would make more sense. Like you're a graveyard, you're a cemetery caretaker, and all of a sudden the dead start trying to pop out in your, and the idea would be to keep them in the cemetery instead of like making sure they don't get out. I don't know.
There was a movie like that. There was a movie like that. It was called Cemetery Man.
It's way more fun to think that their families were just really, really cheap and pocketed the life insurance money instead of getting them a good burial. So what you really are is you're a cemetery landlord who is trying to keep the non-paying jackass zombies out of the plots.
Basically.
You're not squatting in my graveyard.
You get your nasty ass out of my graveyard. This dropped, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Somebody's yelling back there. By the way, if you're catching this on the secondary viewing and there's big chunks of stuff missing, it's because we got copyright claimed and I had to erase the footage. So, but at least we're talking about the game, so you can go look it up for yourself.
Let's rumble.
So this is the new character lineup for Street Fighter 6 Season 3. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, I'm totally not excited to play Alex. I don't care about Alex. I'm not excited to play Sea Viper, Crimson Viper.
Why is Sea Viper a dude now?
It's just a joke thing. She's still a girl. I'm really not excited to play Ingrid.
Yeah, this is losing me already. If I even had a system to play this.
However, they are bringing at least one character I am excited to play.
You like some cornflakes?
Nope. It's my boy.
Street Fighter 6.
I want me some of that Sagat action there, man. I want to throw tiger knees. I want to throw tiger rushes. I want to throw tiger uppercuts. I want to crush some dudes.
Sagat was the cool bad guy before Akuma was the cool bad guy.
Yeah. Now, I still like Akuma better. Akuma is the cooler bad guy, but Sagat.
Now, did anyone get my cornflakes reference?
I did not.
Oh, it's from the Street Fighter cartoon.
Oh.
There's a Sagat, he's holding a hostage, and he goes, "You like some cornflakes?"
Now, I guess my only question is M. Bison still a character in the Street Fighter games or no?
Yeah, he's back. In fact, he's back in 6.
Okay, because we all know M. Bison was always right. He was never wrong.
Uh-huh. So it says Ingrid might be the most hated character in Capcom's. Yeah, I agree. Ingrid's not even she's supposed to be like a god or something, or a goddess or some stuff. I forgot what her deal is, but she's like a super powered being who's basically, made herself kind of an immortal to challenge people. I don't know what her story is. I don't care. I'm not gonna play her.
I don't know.
Fighting Sea Viper from 4 is pretty cool, though.
Who?
Sea Viper from 4.
Sea Viper, Crimson Viper's okay. I never really got into her as much as everybody else. But I will probably play her since she's likely going to have alternative costumes because I hated that stupid suit that she wore. Her theme song was awesome, though.
I don't know. Fighting games for me lost their. It's kind of like sports games. My older brother and I used to sit around and talk about playing 2K6 or Madden or something like that. And we're like, we used to love playing these games, up until about the PlayStation era, and they started getting more and more complex. And it's like, if I was this damn good as a football coach, I'd be getting paid to go do it for at least a junior college. This is not what I'm here for, to play my video game. And fighting games have kind of gotten like, in my opinion, the competitive fighting game scene has basically ruined fighting games.
I agree.
Because they develop games too much for the fighting game scene.
Well, there was an unusual game on our list that I thought was a cool idea, and anime fans will probably like it, and some of y'all might actually enjoy this one. I think it's starting to get some hype. But here is.
Oh, hey, today is Saturday, which means curry time.
Awesome, I love curry.
Speaking of curry, apparently the current president...
I really want the Japanese voiceover.
What does that mean?
I hate the American voices already.
Curry time!
Romeo, stay with me.
What the heck?
Romeo, listen up. You're gonna die in about 15 seconds. Seriously? Seriously. Don't
My
worry.
video
I made
stopped.
this just in case. The dead gear life support system. Don't move, okay?
Hey, Archer, some people like curry for breakfast, okay?
You're already half dead. From now on, you're half dead man. No, wait, that's pretty lame. Dead man. From now on, you're dead man.
Yes. Ironcaster probably would have liked this if he was on the show today, but he didn't make it, so we get to enjoy it instead. You guys cannot tell me this does not look like fun.
Definitely Chainsaw Massacre vibes.
This looks like good old-fashioned pointless fun.
Yep.
Totally mindless. Kind of game that really needs to not try to have a story. Like old school games where like you get started and you're just in the first level. Quit pretending you need a story for this.
Romeo is a dead man. Coming 2026.
Maybe.
Onachambara without the bikinis. That's a no from me.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's gory as hell. I'll definitely play that.
I would play it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why. I kept thinking a Deadman version of DC as soon as every time I heard Deadman get mentioned. It was the DC version of Deadman.
Oh, yeah, Fakuram in T7 and T8 was actually supposed to be Sagat. Really? That would make sense why he's so freaking tall, but I haven't seen him in 8 yet. Is he supposed to be coming out for 8? Anyway, I have a love-hate relationship with Street Fighter 6 because on the one hand, I absolutely hate the soundtrack to no end. It is the worst, most hip-hop, jive beats, whatever you want to call it, urban soundtrack I've ever heard from a Capcom game, and it sucks. And it makes me just want to turn the sound off. Not to mention there's several characters. Well, most of the roster is not all that interesting because Capcom's forgotten how to make good characters a long time ago. So mostly I'm just playing like the old characters, which is like, Akuma, Ryu, Kenshi, or Ken,
Why do they even
those characters
making new characters? Like, that's another thing about fighting games that kind of cheeses me off. It's like, we don't need 900 characters.
Well, I mean, sometimes
we quit taking away the ones we all like so you can put in your ridiculous new character do not steal.
Oh.
Shut up.
Ash, what you got there?
And go away.
Yeah, I got Yacht Club's new game. You guys ever play Shovel Knight?
Oh, let's take a look.
Yeah, so this is like the Game Boy Zelda games meets Castlevania right here.
Engine Joe.
Coming out Halloween.
Okay, I want to play this. This looks like it's so much fun. I am getting tired of retro graphics and 8-bit music, but still.
Oh, but this has been in the works for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only issue is I hear Legend of Zelda, I just think too many puzzles.
Well, this is not Zelda, though.
Well, if it's based around it.
Heavily inspired by the Game Boy era.
I like it. I like it a lot. Very retro look. Yes, it is. Well, a lot of games are going retro these days.
Yeah, because people are getting tired of the new age slop everyone keeps putting out, and they would rather go. Hell, I'd rather go back to N64 graphics at this point than have some of the new crappy games.
There actually are games that are emulating M64. Like there's hundreds of Resident Evil clones just on Steam.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, that's one I've been meaning to show off. Actually, I did show off Phase Zero on one of our Tuesday streams, so. You've already seen that one, and that's very much PS1 inspired, and that's something that Ironcaster really likes, those PS1 inspired games. Well, let me see. I've got other things here, like I might as well just go ahead and roll this one. I still have not played the first one, but I might as well. I remember I was so excited for the first one, and then everybody kept telling me what a piece of crap it was.
One could count 1,000,000 billion suns in the known universe. So why do we deny other intelligent beings? It is said
3D printing.
If they were out there, they would have visited Earth.
And yes, it's stopping again.
My answer is, maybe they will visit us. But time has not come yet for this. The dawn of a new era. The era of atomic heart. 2.
Oh no! We're gonna get copyright claim for that for sure. Here, let me just turn the sound down.
I mean, I heard a lot of good things about the first Atomic Heart game, so I would be hoping that the second one will be just as good.
I guess when it gets cheap enough, I'll buy it. But
it was good, but it needed polish. So I think it's good that they're doing a sequel. Hopefully, that'll bring the polish that will make it really shine.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They really knew what their audience wanted because there's a lot more hot robot chicks in this.
Well, they were all over the place in the first one.
There's more of them now.
Oh yeah, you should have seen my reaction. I actually condensed it into a clip on my channel. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like my chat was like, "The industry's healing."
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. It's like I'm gonna get Stellar Blade when it comes on PC next week. Nice. I will probably get Atomic Heart 2 just because it does look better than Atomic Heart 1. Although now I guess I'm gonna have to play the first one so I can kind of get into it more. I'm sure they'll offer it at a discounted price whenever the second one drops. Of course, I don't know when this is gonna drop. Right now, it's just in wish list. And thank you very much, Atomic Heart, for copyrighted music on your ad. Appreciate that so much. Kill all of our fun.
Might be time to dust off a retro Soviet game idea. Sorry, go.
Yeah, you should. You totally should. And that's from Mundfish. And Mundfish is, like I said, they dropped like 3 trailers for new things. So here's the third one we're gonna go ahead and take a look at, which is called The Cube. Once again, lots of robot chicks.
Yeah, it is.
It's in the sky, a giant
I
cube.
know what the audience wants.
I can still barely believe it myself. When it showed up, I was in the lab. I didn't even see it. You know? I felt
Maybe
that
you need to
same
play more
fear,
games.
though. A terrible sense of my own powerlessness.
That really looks good. I don't know if that's just a cinematic or if that's a... That's just...
How did the
Never
whole
mind.
of humanity
What was I saying?
miss it? And did we actually miss it? What if the cube didn't appear but revealed itself? What if it was always
Like,
there?
count the number
and
of
we've
hot
only
robot
just
chicks in
started
this
to see it?
video. Sorry, I got a little aroused there. we had guns and we had hot chicks and
Guns and girls. That's all you need.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
The head bad guy gets eaten and consumed by. Yeah, that's the one, Engine Joe. I practically attired hot robot chicks. Why, yes, I also enjoy robot chicks.
I'm just always baffled that these scientists in these alternate futures, they can never seem to make a robot male that's not like, these dinky ass little gorilla legs and, 14 shoulder cannons and 9 rocket launchers. But all the robot chicks are just like, oh, look, it's somebody took Sydney Sweeney and gave her a metal eye.
You sound like you're complaining, Daniel.
They use all the good cutting edge parts on the chicks, and then they use the leftovers to make the guys. That's what happens.
It's pretty simple.
It's almost like there's a huge crossover between nerds who can make robots and people who never get to see hot chicks.
Well, I mean, if you want hot male robots, there's a strip club in Detroit, Become Human, with both male and female robot strippers.
That was
a good game.
It's pretty good. It was pretty good.
I want the female robots to have. I'm looking for equality here. I want the female robots to have more laser swords and rocket launchers.
I played Detroit. I played Detroit Become Human on stream, and I ended up wiping out the entire Android race.
That's not necessarily a bad decision. I mean,
And to counter, I don't want equality in video games because that's how we got the schlop that we have now.
The argument for long-term marriages, guys. That's the biggest advantage to a guy to being married in a long-term, stable marriage is that we no longer have to worry about this nonsense.
You're probably not
you
wrong.
go to the bar and you have to wonder. It's like, okay, well, it looks like a chick, but is it a robot or a dude or?
Well, that's the nice thing about packages. When you unwrap them, you get a surprise.
We used to complain about somebody pretending they were an attack helicopter. Now I'm just worried. It's like you got her back to your place and take the top off. Oh, it's a hindy.
Well, okay.
I think it's hitting a little too close to home for a T-shirt.
Yeah. But anyway, now this is a shocker for me. Because like everybody else, I got super duper hyped up, excited about a new Resident Evil. And then they dropped the most boring ass trailer they possibly could have.
It's like they were just trying to trick people into thinking they weren't going to drop a trailer until like the very last few frames.
Mm-hmm. Because this is from the Japanese site. Just so you know, nothing's being cut out or clipped. This is exactly what it sounds like and looks like. But this is honestly, there's so much walkie-talkie doing nothing in this. I'm just forwarding because this just
Who keeps buying Umbrella Corporation?
I don't know, but
I mean, where do they get the funding for this crap?
It hasn't been. Umbrella's been dead since Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, that's true.
If this is
Getting
not
back to
what
Resident Evil
Josh
8,
told us
actually.
today, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days tops.
Put a hold on that for now.
8 gave
We found
us
another
more
body.
lore on the Umbrella
One that
Corporation,
exhibits
but
the
that's
same
it. They're
pathology
still
as the others
dead.
we've been investigating.
Technically, it was revamped.
Playing a robot that's not a dude.
On this.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about 7, yeah. Like, there's a
No,
new...
I need
In
your
8,
eyes
when
on the crime
Redfield...
scene.
Oh, no, in 7, you're right. That is when it was first revealed. You're correct.
The Renwood Hotel.
You like this?
I know.
Because this
That's
all this
where
is.
your
Let me.
mother
I
just-
don't know what
some-
direction... I don't know what direction it's going in. That's the problem.
Here we go. This is slightly more exciting. Sweaty CGI chick.
No, the cool part was
There we
when they
go.
showed Raccoon City.
We should have led with this.
She's been infected by the uncanny valley.
No, that's
I know
just
now that
video
you're the
game
one that
graphics
I've
these
been
days.
searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Oh, is that supposed to be Rose from Resident Evil 8?
Investigating all these
I don't
strange
think so.
deaths,
No.
It's
We need to keep our
Ashcroft.
voices down.
Have you seen the same
apparently
shit I've
she's
seen?
the daughter of one of the people from Outbreak. You know the game nobody
really
played?
you.
Yeah, I remember.
Everyone's gone.
So this is Raccoon City, so you're going back to Raccoon City. Like,
Stay away from that!
are we getting zombies again?
Well, we already did werewolves.
You know, man, I can't express how disappointed I was with 7 and 8.
You didn't like 8?
I thought
8
they were
was-
both good.
8 was okay. No, 7 was horrible, dude. It starts off really, really good and exciting, and then you do the Saw thing, and it's kind of like, wow, this is not fun. It's like, and then you have to go do the ship thing, and then at the end you have to go do the mine thing, and it's the same enemy every single time. It's like, nah. It was kind of like Resident Evil 7 was, we had a good idea, then we completely forgot about it and just kept throwing the same enemy at you the entire game. Because
Well,
we
technically,
thought,
all Resident Evil games work that way. It's always the same zombies they throw at you. There's never really much of a difference except for one here or one there.
excuse
And
me,
8,
Hunter.
8 was just 4, but with werewolves.
Yeah. Okay, Hunter. Okay. You're out of your depth on this one. Because Resident Evil, the first one, you had zombies, you had dogs, you had killer bees, you had the giant killer plant, you had the tyrant, you had the giant snake, you had the spiders. I mean, you had a ton of stuff in that game that was coming after you, not just the zombies. And then 2 was mostly just zombies, but you also had Mr. X coming after you, and you still had the dogs and
The crows.
the crows and
What was
all kinds of other
Arkin?
stuff.
What was that joke
Just the-
going around about Resident Evil? How all the diaries are things like, we strapped submachine guns to the arms of a raptor. I wonder what will happen.
Yes.
Diary 2, they got loose.
Yes. I think I still have that somewhere. I mean, let me see if I still have that. I think I still have that joke.
And they
Whatever
didn't
happened to
nuke Raccoon
Parasite Eve?
City.
There's a-
It was a thermobaric aerosol bomb. Sorry.
Sorry.
Carry on.
Oh yeah, it was a thermobaric aerosol. Yeah, it wasn't actually a nuke.
Well, 7 was an overcorrection to 6.
Yeah. Well,
See, now, I did not play 6, but I watched a lot of the gameplay that was for 6, watching all the different stories. And I didn't think it was that bad for the most part.
The main problem is the ammo. There's very little ammo. Like you only get ammo from spawning enemies, and it's done. So a lot of times you have to do melee, but a lot of the characters aren't equipped for melee.
here we go. Every Resident Evil scientist memo, page 1. I crossbred a silverback gorilla with a praying mantis, then gave it AK-47s for arms. Bob has been poking it with a stick nonstop for 80 hours now. Hopefully it doesn't escape. Page 2. It escaped.
More or less. That's why I look at it and I'm just like, who keeps buying their stock? Like, why has this CEO not been fired yet?
I don't think they are publicly traded.
Like the U.S. government pretty much passed legislation and Umbrella went bankrupt. A lot of their staff got tried and.
Now, hold on. Wasn't the entire U.S. government that technically killed off in Resident Evil 6 at one point because of the virus going back up in Raccoon City again or something like that?
They killed the president. The Neo Umbrella terrorist organization killed the president with the virus, and then they infected a whole bunch of Hong Kong.
Oh, I thought they infected all of DC too. On top of that,
and then you had a zombie virus, but you also had someone. Crossbred the G virus with the Veronica virus to create these new insectoid.
That's right.
They're missing a trick there. If they killed the president with the virus, why did we never get President Evil?
No,
that would have been awesome.
That would be really cool.
That would have been the best game. By the way, guys,
Woodrow Wilson, that's President Evil.
Guys, I want to announce something. We have 80 viewers right now.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I'm pretty sure we're getting a lot of it from X. So all y'all out there in X land, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you'll sub to me on YouTube because I could use the subs. But wow, this is a huge audience, man. I feel great. Yeah, I liked the original RE3 a lot, a whole lot. The remake of RE3 was abysmally bad to the point where I was just like, you have to be kidding me. This is all there was.
I think it's strange that he says RE3 if you get RE4 is the one everyone still talks about to this day more than anything.
Because it was such a different take, and it kind of changed the way we played all the other future Resident Evil games.
Yeah, 4 is a really fun action movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
the remake of 4 was really good too. I was shocked at how good it was.
I think 4
I'm still going to stick to the original.
A little bit of a audience shock problem. Because you have that anytime. If you came out with a Street Fighter game that was, some kind of action RPG, it would probably throw a lot of problems too. Where people are like, oh, this is a terrible Street Fighter.
Well, that's kind of the shock that happened with.
Tell people that's what you're going to do.
That's kind of like what happened with Final Fantasy 16 because it was more of a Devil May Cry beat 'em up style game with some of the RPG elements in it, but it really wasn't a traditional RPG.
Yeah, and they didn't bother to tell anybody that's what they were doing when they launched the game, so everybody's expecting another Final Fantasy game, and they get Devil May Cry. Yeah.
Esoteric Order, I obviously can't show that post, so sorry. But that was pretty funny. President Evil a couple of years ago.
Was very sick. The president was very sick.
Yeah. Dino Crisis was decent, but it wasn't. Yeah. I remember that was the heyday of the PS1. Everything was good. It was because we had so much good. We had Dino Crisis, we had Resident Evil, then we had Parasite Eve.
I was mentioning that earlier. That one, you want to talk about a game that, one, where did that franchise go? And B, why don't we have a decent remake of it?
Yeah, I'm sure Square Enix is going to be focusing a lot on remasters to recoup losses. So hopefully we get a non-censored remaster of all 3 of the games, Third Birthday also.
Just remember, folks, whenever game companies remaster something, that's their way of trying to generate money for their next big project, because video games is $1 billion industry now, and they actually make more money than movies at this point. And let's be honest, okay? I can pay $29.99, and I can play the Forever Winter, and I can play it over and over and over and over. How many actual hours do I have in that game now? Let me just look. I don't even know. Forever Winter. Let me see. 19.5 hours. Okay. You show me a film that will give you $30 worth of value and 19.5 hours. And plus, I'm still looking forward to my next play. So. And there's no politics in it or anything else. It's just pretty much, it's just get out on the battlefield, don't die. Keep your head down, don't get shot, don't get seen by drones, don't get seen by patrols. Please stay out of the way of this mech because it will step on you. But it's fun. Grand Theft Carriage, yeah, maybe. Street Fighter, the movie, I remember that. Oh. Yeah. I don't know what else they're going to be remastering out there. And there's still lots and lots of games that are coming out that, I don't want to show off right now. I mean, I'm going to probably do some more on Tuesday because between now and Tuesday, there'll be more like Cthulhu Cosmic Abyss, Hell Express, which I haven't shown yet. But
there's one game I keep seeing around floating on X here and there. It's like a Cthulhu-esque type first-person shooter where the guns you have are like very much like Cthulhu powered in ways. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'd have to look it back up. I remember seeing clips of it on X.
Scorn. I mean, it was probably Scorn.
Yeah, probably Scorn.
Yeah, it's like this. Like it was like almost like a hand-drawn moving animation kind of setup is what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, and then of course we still have Bloodlines 2 finally releasing in October, which at this point I'm not even excited about, despite the fact that I bought it 5 years ago. But just for a little bit of fun, just to kind of end things on a high note. I mean, I think the whole show has actually been a high note because I've just, been doing nothing but really good games. So let's go out on an even higher note. Let's watch Grim just cringe.
Must we?
Oh, jeez.
Good evening, family. My fellow inwards. Big L's in the chat for mogging on your vibe or interrupting your podcast. Sucks that we're all here tonight for some serious tea. We have assembled because the grind set that slimes our hood, the grind set that is our aura, has been ratioed. As bestie, I am within my privileges to clap back or crash out any of the squad of this hood, the privilege of cooking up a jit. A lot of you in chat pulled up seeking my privilege, and I have liked and subscribed on some of these requests. However, the gooner that is Neil-maxing before you is not refused privilege. No cap, my blessing was never fit checked at all. They got caught in 4K right after hitting up this jit. It hurts me to spill the tea on this goon lord, cause until tonight I thought the sussy baga was gang. The yikes flop era. It's giving ick. As the squad knows, the transgressions for being out of pocket is being unalived. Know that I am no more a Sigma than I am a Karen to the meta that mogs us all. Let tonight's bop serve as a reminder to our mood. That we live in a society, and that Bloodlines 2 will still be better than Elder Scrolls 6.
No.
That's the vape.
Has a match, and he's out the door to continue his no-holds-barred orgy-like lifestyle.
So yes, that was if Bloodlines was made in 2025.
I love that they brought up Assassin's Creed Shadows because I saw Pirate Nation posted this. It was like top 10 games of the year, and AC Shadows was not on that list.
Yeah. Grim? Comments?
I was just going to say, of all of that, the thing that really pisses me off is that they've tried to change the meaning of out of pocket.
Someone said, is that Urban Dictionary the game?
Yes, Urban Dictionary. The tism is strong with this one. Oh my god. This best Boston, no cap. Yeah. Yes, this is what they mean by for the modern audience. Yes. Discord weeb speak.
I didn't understand a word of what they said. I'm just old.
Okay, if you want that translated into English, go play the original Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines and enjoy that scene written in a language you can actually understand.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen it, but yeah.
Dude, I dust that sucker off and play it at least once a year. That's how good that game is. And it's still fun to this day. Of course, I almost always play the Malkavian just because the Malkavian has the coolest interactions with people. Although the Nosferatu is kind of fun too, though. But anyway,
that's a permanent install on my hard drive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A haphazard mix of slang from the 2010s and 2020s. The Gen Alpha Zoomer speech patterns. Yes, it is.
I haven't played it since 2018. That's how long it's been since I played it.
I saw the gameplay for the VR Vampire Masquerade Bloodline game, and that wasn't bad.
There's a VR?
Yeah. It's like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline something. I have to look it back up again. I remember I was watching a YouTuber play it because he does all VR content.
Hunter, it behooves you to take notes and stuff like that for us when you start bringing stuff like this up.
Well, if I knew every single thing we'd be talking about, yes, I would. But I never know what we're going to talk about.
You never know what we're going to talk about. That's why it's all important.
Yep, and Vampire the Masquerade Justice.
Mine are you anyway? Jesus.
Yes. Yeah. So,
how old am I?
I said, what kind of content mine are you anyway?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to get milked for content if you don't bring any?
Yeah. I only play. Well, I mean the cheerleader outfit. Come on now. Come on.
So, what are you guys' thoughts on Sonic Racing versus Mario Kart?
Why is there any verses there? Is it Mario Kart?
Well,
Mario
a lot of people are really salty about the $80 thing.
Well, I don't own anything Nintendo at the moment because, I have car payments and Nintendo wants way too much money for all their stuff. So
I'm going to put it this way. There was an incident at the last F1 race that involved the reigning world champion intentionally hitting somebody on track. And it was not Sonic Racing that got referenced by the commentators.
Mm-hmm. No, but if we're going to talk about content, I have to bring this up because the last time I was on here, I mentioned because we were talking about the King of the Hill remake that they're doing, and I asked about if they were going to bring back John Redcorn, and literally the next freaking day, the voice actor for John Redcorn passed away.
Well, yeah, that was really sad.
Yeah, it's like talk about unfortunate perfect timing on that regard.
Oh, by the way, Hunter.
Oh,
Hunter.
Well, sorry, everyone's freezing up on me again on my end. I'm sorry.
Hunter.
I can hear him. Can you not hear him?
I can hear him.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear
Hunter.
both of you just fine. Are you?
Hunter's not responding to me.
No, it froze up on my end and it restart and it kind of refreshed everything. So I'm back now. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. So you can hear this. So Grim lovingly made a ode to you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Hunter ruins everything from A to fucking Z. He's crude, he's rude, and cannot grasp behaving in society. He is the faux pas king. Oh yeah, watch out, cause here it comes. Hunter ruins everything. Oh yeah, Hunter ruins everything. Hunter ruins everything from A to fucking Z.
Oh, thank you, Grim. I actually love that a lot.
I'll send you a copy if you like it.
Please do.
Okay. You could use it. Actually, you could use it as a video, as a opener on all your videos. But
that's part of the thing. And I'm thinking, like, if I'm ever on a live stream, I will send them a copy of that. And if they feel like I ruined something, they can just play that on their streams going forward for me.
There you go. Oh, fish Malk. I still bring that up, Magnificent Devil. When people talk about Malkavians and they're playing it wrong, I'm like, dude, why are you fish malking? Anyway, gents, I think that's pretty good for today. What do y'all think?
That seems like it went pretty well.
I mean, I consider today a big win. I mean, we hit the peak of 86 viewers all at once, and that's like amazing. Now, if everybody would just throw me $1, that would be great. Yes. Anyway,
give
sadly,
T-shirt
most
money
of the
so you can be irresponsible with it. Sorry,
I know.
Sadly, most of the games I'm interested in don't show up till tomorrow. So
tomorrow's Sunday.
Yeah.
No, what you need to do tomorrow. T-shirt is if you're able to start simulcasting again to Rumble as well. Rumble takes less of a cut from the pay than YouTube does.
Oh, well, that's an idea.
Xbox Showcase and the PC Game Showcase.
Oh God,
they're doing Outer Worlds 2 tomorrow, which I'm definitely interested in.
I didn't like the first one. Everything was so samey. It felt boring. It was like one fetch quest after another. It was just kind of like, and the dialogue wasn't even all that exciting. I mean,
yeah,
I did give it a fair try. I didn't like it. But
yeah. The only thing I'd be really excited from Xbox is Doom: The Dark Ages DLC. Other than that, I don't think there's anything they can present to bring me back.
Actually, okay, I tell you what, we got 80-something people out there, so let's take a poll real quick, shall we? Hold on, let me actually.
Well, if the rumor's true, they're going to announce the Fallout 3 remaster tomorrow.
Oh God, please do the Fallout 3 remaster.
What I would love for them to do is I'd love, like they did with Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, how they made it, enhanced version for mobile. I'd love for them to do that with Fallout 1 and 2.
That would be great. And Fallout 3, all they need to do is sharpen the graphics up a little bit, make sure it runs nice and smooth, add iron sights. There's your remaster. Stop right there. Don't mess with anything else.
Or, actually put scopes and stuff on. There's a lot of things they could do. Somebody actually rebuilt, what was it? The swamp level from Fallout 3, the DLC. God, I can't remember what it was called. Point Lookout. Yeah, they did it for Fallout 4.
Yeah,
it was perfect. So I know they can remaster 3 and do it perfectly.
It's going to be in the that new unholy marriage of Creation Engine and Unreal 5.
Well, at least they're not trying to do it in red. I mean, because then it would take them 7 years.
Yeah.
Like Cyberpunk. But anyway, okay. As a really quick poll, guys, which game is actually better, Starfield or Outer Worlds? To me, that's a hard question to ask because I was kind of like equally bored by both of them. So,
for me, I think Starfield has the edge just because the DLCs were better, or the DLC was better in Starfield than what the little chunk DLCs you got in Outer Worlds, and also mods.
Okay. And hey, thanks, Hunter. I appreciate that. So just paying towards my annual fees as a cast member. Okay. Well, all right, dude. Let's get you a clip. Let me see. What do we got here for you? Here. This is a manly man one. You'll like this one.
There's someone for you.
It's like, Grim, was that you back in the day there?
It's me now.
It's like the manliest actor that ever lived in Hollywood. He was a genuine badass.
Ah, yes.
Back when
Nothing like a Death Wish marathon.
Yeah. Oh man.
The only actor that might be more badass than him is Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that would be kind of close, but I would give the edge to Bronson in a fist fight.
In a fist fight, yeah, but you know, when he tells the director that's not how stabbing someone in the back sounds.
That's not the noise someone makes when they're stabbed in the back. Yeah. Yeah, but Bronson's my dude. The manliest man of all Hollywood. I have almost all of his films, but not quite. Just a few I'm missing. But anyway, guys, let's wrap it up for today. Hope you all have enjoyed. Thank you all very much for tuning in on X and for tuning in on YouTube. And hopefully, you'll throw me a sub and, raise my sub count a little bit and help me get a little bit more money, perhaps, possibly. That'd be nice. And Grim, are you running tomorrow?
I should be running Fabular Ultimate tomorrow. No tabletop list tonight because people have award show crud and stuff.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, until then, y'all take care, and we will see you on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Good night, everyone.
On behalf of the staff of the Independent California Motel, I wish you all sweet dreams.